then selling it for double and triple. That cannot happen. That stifles businesses. If we do not get those systems in place, there are alternatives. And that means targeting folks, targeting buildings, houses that are not used, and getting them foreclosed. Number 3, for those who may not want to give up their property for reasons, be it monetary, purchasing up that property and then having a county auction for it. Because you are absolutely right. When you drive around the city, there's so many buildings that are just boarded up. That needs to change. And if we do not get the toolings for it, we need to find legislative ways to do so.
A lot of good ideas, Mr. Chavez. Honestly, I'd like to add on to that. The ideas that I've been thinking about have been pretty similar. We can't allow the market to be sharked by people who have no life and refuse to sleep. For too long, have the rich just been waking up to buy property for the sake of resale or holding on to it. There needs to be a system in check that allows for people to have a chance to buy a home. Now, I'm not saying that this is what I'm going to do because I need to talk to the people up north to find out what satisfies them. But what I've been thinking is essentially, let's discuss business properties first, okay? Business properties are tough to come by. Business properties are essential to getting a business going. An idea that I'm going to propose is I will approach people who own businesses. I will tell them, hey, look, you own this business property. Do you have a job? Do you have a business proposal in? Are you planning to get a business proposal in? And then it'll be expedited so that we can get that business up and running if they do. Now, on to the second part. Let's say they don't have a proposal and they don't intend to use the building as a business. I will simply approach them and say, hey, how do you feel about renting this business out to an individual to run a business from it, as well as getting paid by the state to allow them to operate in this business? Sorry, I misspoke. Paid by the county. Something like $50,000 a week, something like that. I think that would be good. Now, things start to get a little bit more severe because you understand this. The people who want businesses, you understand this better than anybody. What are you to do? Then, as the mayor and as the representative of the people, when the people say we want businesses, we want to own businesses, but we cannot. Simply, I will approach them and offer to buy out their property on behalf of the county to get somebody in there, and it'll either be a county-owned building, or perhaps it'll just be sold. Hey, shut the fuck up! Hey, they stole them. You guys let them steal your fucking barriers? Do something. All you useless BCO fucks standing around. No one's gonna do nothing about that. Fucking pathetic. Fucking pathetic. Now then, what happens in the situation when it escalates again and they refuse to sell the property, they refuse to operate out of the property? What are you to do? I am not the type of person that wants to take away people's businesses because I feel like that is against my principle as a capitalist, as someone who believes in capitalism. But at the same time, if the people are suffering, what other choice is there? And I ask you to think about that because when I come into office, that is going to be one of the first things that we have to discuss.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your time. That answers all my questions.
Thank you very much for the question.
Thank you, sir. Keep up the good work. You're a blessing to this city.
All right, gentlemen, I had one question also submitted to me just while I still had the questions open. So this will be our final question.
Who submitted it?
Actually,
I bet it's Angel.
It was not Angel.
Good.
All right. So the question is, what is each candidate's plan for the respective PD budgets, and how will the size of the PD budget affect civilians' pay? The individual specifically cited a TRT budget of $6 million.
Oh, may I? I'll stop first.
Yeah, Nina, why don't you go ahead with this one?
I don't know where the $6 million came from. As far as I'm aware, they don't have anywhere close to that. Under my administration, we managed to go from, I want to say, about negative $35 million in debt. So we're now sitting at about $140 million, and that's after the increases.
Hey, I need something to
EMS and doctors. Increased pay for the police department, maxing out all the pay for all the jobs around Los Santos County,
I don't have any
and
food for
reducing the taxes.
Thank you so much.
Regardless of how much money the city is bringing in, a large part due to the recycling program,
I need some to eat.
the budget that the police department gets is via the arrests that they make. I believe they make about 25% of the fines. And any sort of additional budget needs to be a request. There is no like direct relationship. A request would need to be brought in. Does that answer the question? I feel like that's what it was directing toward.
I think you definitely illuminated on it. Does anyone else have any input about how they would direct PD's budget and how they would?
Yes, I do.
Counties? All right.
So first week in office, one of the things that's important is making sure that the BCSO is taken care of. As soon as I'm in office, I already informed them at their meeting that there will be a pay cut so that I can assess their value. Why would I pay a PD that isn't doing anything to support and protect the public trust? That's why I will call it Hell Week, and they will have to make their arrests. They'll have to prove their worth. If they wish to maintain being paid $1,700 an hour, $1,800 an hour, they're going to have to work for it, just like any other citizen would.
All right. Other two candidates, any comments?
Yeah, I'm happy to answer this one. You know, as I said at the very beginning of this debate, my plan is to put as much reasonable money as I can back into the community, and the Los Santos Police Department is a very integral part of that community. And I am very thrilled to hear that we have so much money in the current county budget. It is a reflection of a lot of change that has occurred over the past several months. I would very much like to see more of that money go back into the hands of the LSPD for all of the very hard work that they do, and the, I'll just say it, whole heap of bullshit that they sometimes have to put up with.
So myself personally, I'm gonna buff every major police organization. Y'all are gonna get a big buff, better armor, better guns, better cars, faster cars, better radios, whatever you guys want. And that's my promise to you.
Listen, the police, you guys provide a service. We need more of that money going to events, the music industry. I know that there's an entire fucking crisis at the tuna shop with pots busting. We need to subsidize that shit. How many of you guys are car enthusiasts and like going to car shows? Raise your hands. I think some of those prices are way too high, and the state needs to start subsidizing some of those tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 boxes. I think you should be able to get some of those like little fucking pot loot boxes and stop popping them open, you know, provided by Los Santos County. You know, these are the things that we should be thinking about. I don't want to be. I've been driving my car around and you can barely fucking turn anymore.
All right. I think each of you have brought up very interesting points for your campaign. Is there anything else any of the candidates would like to say as a closing, or would we like to end it here?
Tons!
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I could throw in one last thing.
I could do a closer.
You want to do closings? All right, we'll do it pretty quick. All right, let's start with Silas, and we'll go down the line again.
Yeah, throughout this debate, you guys have heard me touch on the main tenets of my platform and my campaign. And, just to reemphasize those are reestablishing the sense of community that we have, improving relations
be the true
with
closer
the
on this.
county to our north, while still advocating for Ellis County's best interests, and really, putting money back into the hands of people that make this city as special as it is.
All right, Butch.
Hey, I don't want to tell you how to vote. Y'all know that I support these two here, Nino Chavez and Kyle Pred. They both have got it. I'm sure Silas here has definitely got some good ideas. But, y'all know what's best for you. I know you'll make the right choice.
Short, sweet, and effective. All right, Nino, you're up.
Could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
It's just a closing statement. Anything you want
Just
to
a
say?
closing.
Now's the time.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for gathering here for the debate. Judge Grayson, thank you so much for organizing it. It means a lot. Hope to see more of these debates throughout the week. And if you have any questions for me and my cabinet, please do reach out. And please do go out and vote come this Monday.
All right, Fred.
Oh my God, let me tell you. For too long have I been sitting back watching as the North suffers. The people, no businesses. The entire area, a barren wasteland. Those pussies the BCSO coddled over the public. I will make sure that the people matter again in Blaine County. I know what some of you think about me. Well, Kyle Pred isn't nice. Eve Summers is just so sweet and nice. Who the fuck wants a nice politician to fight for them? What has a nice person ever accomplished? Terrific. The scrapyard? Oh, you know what's real nice about the scrapyard that was open? It's real great that people are able to get the businesses that they have sitting, the business proposals sitting on the Blaine County administration's desks that aren't being approved so that they can make their stuff. But Jesus fucking Christ, where the hell are they going to sell it? Where are they going to sell it? And who runs the scrapyard? Eve Summers runs the scrapyard. It's funny. It's funny how the few friends succeed. It's funny how the few friends get what they want, but when it comes to the public up north, they get nothing. We can no longer sit back and allow for nothing to commence. Legislation, 13 pieces of legislation, nothing submitted for over 2 months. The previous mayor stepped down. Who's to say if Eve gets in office, she won't do the same? We already know that she won't fight for you because she's not here today fighting for herself. How can you trust somebody to represent you that won't even fight for themselves? If Eve doesn't care about you, when she needs your support, why would she care about you when she hasn't? I brought the pressure that made her crack. How will she stand up for you when she can't stand up for herself or her platform on today's stage? Eve Summers didn't show up to the debate. She ain't going to show up for you. What makes you think this is a fair and free election when Angel's good friend Eve Summers is skipping a debate like this? I ask you, how is this not rigged in favor of Eve Summers? Blatant, right in front of the people's eyes. For the first time ever, you as a voter have less of a say. You as a voter should have all the say, up north and down south. You are a resident of San Andreas. You have a voice. It matters. There is nothing codified. The Andy Jones administration hasn't put out a legislation for, it will actually be tomorrow that it'll be 2+ months. Justice Angel is preventing progression to preserve her own power. Who benefits from a failing and faulting DOJ? The people who currently sit on the top of it. Are you really okay with the process being so long for you to submit legislation, to re-evaluate legislation? Does the DOJ pay for that when they're doing it in the dead of night? Who agreed to have the election process changed? Were you, the voter, sought out and asked your opinion? You should be in an uproar. You should be feeling misled and lied to. Because you know what happened? Everybody, I'm going to tell you this. Would this have happened if I didn't run for mayor? Think about it. Out of all honesty, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in conspiracy. This is a conspiracy to steal the election because everybody knows that I am a threat to the current power structure that benefits the few but disparages and pushes away the many. Think about that to yourself today when you're driving home from this debate. Think about if you're really okay with the current system. Think about how if Eve Summers does get into office instead of Kyle Pred, how the North is actually going to rise. Eve Summers' entire platform is preserving the Northern administration legacy of Andi Jones. What type of, honestly, how does that benefit the people? Because it hasn't benefited them yet. I'm sure if you give it 3 more months, it'll change because they haven't done anything in the last 2. You really need to understand that I am not the perfect man, but I am capable of finding the perfect people to get in the positions to get the job done. When I became the sheriff, everybody laughed at me. Everybody doubted me. Everybody said Kyle Pred can't succeed. And what did I accomplish? The shining jewel that was Blaine County. It was put on the map for the first time ever. The largest police department ever. I won the 2nd sheriff election by over a 98 percentile between the public and the government workers because people had that much faith and they had that much conviction for what was achieved because they never saw anything like that before. You really need to wake up. You really need to understand that it's not okay for you to have less voting power. That a smoke screen is being blown in front of your eyes. How can anyone sit here and say that this isn't a deliberate attempt to rig the election? My ex-wife, who is Brittany Angel, oversees the election. My ex-wife, who is Brittany Angel, fired me from a department unjustly. My ex-wife, who changed the legislation in the dead of night with no input from anyone else to strip you of your rights. If that isn't a vindictive, if that isn't a planned, plotted attack, then what is? They are afraid because I want them to be held accountable for their failures. I want the power dynamic to change from the few to change to the many. I want you to thrive in Blaine County. And if you're not up in Blaine County, I want you to come up to it. What we have to understand is that if you get 3 more months of what the previous administration has, how is it going to be any better than what it was? I mean, I've talked to a lot of you in this crowd. A lot of you have said Eve Summers hasn't even campaigned or approached me yet. I mean, hell, I have it on good authority that the BCSO are the ones that are handling her campaigning for her because they benefit the most from that leadership, from that administration. What exactly are the ideas and the goals of my opponent? What exactly is being promised and going to be done? I mean, her deputy mayor isn't even a resident of Blaine County. Her deputy mayor is Larry Knox, who is going to be taking any orders that come down from Lang Buddha. Ask yourself, do you really see a world where Larry Knox tells Lang Buddha no on anything up north? Ask yourself this, Eve Summers had a close relationship with that gang. What's going to happen? Who's really going to be in charge if Kyle Pred doesn't get elected to mayor of Blaine County? People, I need your support, and I will fight tooth and nail, not just to earn your vote, but to keep your trust in me. And that is what you get when you cast a ballot for Kyle Pred for Blaine County. I will never stop fighting for you. I will be the most relentless beast you've ever seen. Because I don't respond well to these people telling me that things can't be done. Because when I look around at the city, I see a city that needs help more than ever. That hospital, not staffed at all up in Blaine County. How do you even get medical? The businesses not thriving. Taxation at an all-time high for the small people who do stay up there. But hey, as long as the BCSO's paid their 80 votes. I'm not trying to get anyone's support that is BCSO. Because I can point out to you, how many meetings did Andi Jones go to that was the BCSO? How many meetings did she go to that were for you?
Alrighty. I want to thank everyone for coming. I know, I think I could hopefully speak for all four of us up here when I say that we all really believe in the idea of a public forum. So appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to spend some time and hear all of us, you know, talk about the great things that we want to do. And we really appreciate it.
And thank you for the candidates taking time out of their day to come and talk with the public.
I'll be staying behind if you have any questions about me or my campaign. If you wish to talk to me, I'm available.
I will say all the candidates have been exceptionally available. So if anyone has questions, feel free to come and talk to them at your own time. The polls will open tomorrow, so please keep that in mind. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge Grayson.
Anytime.
Thank you, everybody.
That was good.
Do you need me anywhere else, or am I covered?
People, wake up and smell the roses. I'm here for you. Even if you're not a resident of the North, I am here to make sure that you benefit as well. You remember that when it comes time to vote.